Hello there, I'm children's author Andrew Buller, author of the children's picture book series The Rhymers, and today I wanted to just encourage you and to talk to you a little bit about the process of self-publishing that I've gone through, which has been incredibly rewarding. It's something I've always wanted to do. I've always loved writing, loved sharing stories, creating stories, and for me that's not just writing stories, but it's creating characters, doing all of the illustrations. And I'm incredibly blessed to be embarking on that at a time where the modern technology is such that we're all able to do those things at our fingertips. I've been very fortunate to have learnt lots of important IT skills along the way, so I've been able to kind of harness those skills into turning that dream into a reality. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I go about that. So for me, one of the main breakthrough things has been the amazing discovery of the Adobe Professional Suite, which, as the name suggests, professional. This used to be something that was purely the domain of those publishing houses and the few, but that's widened out so that any of us can do that. Yes, there's a monthly subscription, but the products are fantastic. So for me, I'm using a mixture of Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator and Adobe InDesign to do my books. So I use Photoshop in that initial stages, and I love the fact that my work, my illustrations, start with the pen, the humble pen and a piece of paper. So I do those illustrations and I scan those particular pictures in, bring them into Photoshop, crop them into individual pictures and kind of go from there. From that very small basic bit of processing in Photoshop, the bulk of the illustrations work happens in Adobe Illustrator. It's a fantastic and incredibly powerful package, and like anything I only use a very small percentage of that, as you know, I think that's true for all of us, but for me that allows me to do the vivid colours. There's an amazing thing called an image trace, which takes that pen scanned image and creates a vector graphic. Now the beauty of a vector graphic is that you get this image that has been pixels, so it can go blurry when it increases, which is how it would be from Photoshop, but it turns it into a mathematical formula through the vector graphic, which means that if you expand or contract the picture, you are still getting that same quality. So you begin to get something very, very powerful. And because it's mathematically based as well, when you then come to fill that image, you can fill it right up to the edges. So that's been amazing. You know, those things really start to lift the quality of the pictures, and it means that you can get those vibrant colours, you can get those sharp lines and edges. So that's where I do, probably the bit of the process that I love the most. Again, within Illustrator there are these great things called layers, where therefore you bring your pictures in as individual elements and then you layer it up and build up this amazing series of layers. So each character is made up of lots of little layers. The eyes are individual little elements, the nose, the mouth. It means that you can play around with facial expressions really easily. It also means that if you want to bring backgrounds in, you can use those same backgrounds time and time again, rearrange the fields, the bushes, the trees. Just have fun with that as well. So it becomes a wonderful tool. I just get an ever expanding series of images that I can bring in. Absolutely love doing that. So that's where I do the image, and then the workflow is wonderful that you take that from there into Adobe InDesign. So that's where the book layout happens, where you put the words in and the pictures together, and that's an amazing tool because you have precision layout with that. You get all the guidelines. There's this thing called the bleed to edges, which means that you ensure that your picture goes beyond the outside of the page, so that when it comes to the printing process that you don't have any white lines around it, so you're going off the edge. So all of those kind of little details, when it comes to the cover design as well, you can be millimetre precision with these things as to where you want to lay the things out. And for me, with my alphabet characters, that layout of that cover is imperative, where I need to be very precise as to where the characters end up laying on the page. So it's wonderful. And I love that workflow as well, because if I decide I want to change something within Illustrator in the pictures, then I can do that. InDesign realises when a change has been made. It comes up with a little warning sign to say this isn't the latest version. You just literally do a double click on that and it brings in the latest version. So it's a wonderfully simple and streamlined workflow, which again, when you're doing this time and time again, is so important that you have that. So yeah, I really encourage you, if you're thinking of doing something similar, to really take a look at this product. The beauty as well with the Adobe suite is that when you pay your monthly subscription, you then get the upgrades. So you're staying cutting edge with this technology. And in children's picture books, it is something that is at the edge, and it's stretching the technology because of the complex nature of the layouts that you're dealing with. So yeah, that's then how you create those files. So Adobe InDesign is where I'm doing that polishing and final parts of the books. And from there I can export them as print PDF documents. So that allows me then to upload those PDF files to Amazon's CreateSpace, which is primarily what I'm using. And that's a wonderfully, again, a very streamlined, simple process of uploading those files onto it. Again, a really important part of that is that if you need to make any subsequent changes, that's very, very straightforward. And probably within a 48-hour period, you could have taken your book down, made the necessary changes, and then re-uploaded those files. So that's wonderful. And again, as self-published, you get to have total freedom and scope with your pricing strategies. You have got all sorts of decisions that you make around the descriptions and the categories that you use. It's wonderful that you have that choice. It really gives you as the author that opportunity to be in control of the whole process from start to finish. So yeah, I would encourage anybody that is thinking of doing so to really give it a go. I also offer consultancy on this, so if this is something that has sort of stirred something within you, as like something I really fancy doing this, whether it's children's books or adult memoir or a series of photographs that you've wanted to go into a book to share with friends and family, all sorts of things, many ideas. If that's something that you'd be interested in, I'd be very happy to talk to you as to how I could assist you with that. So yeah, my name's Andrew Buller. I have my book series, The Rhymers. You can find out far more information on my website, which is www.meettherhymers.com or www.andrewbuller.com. Thank you for listening.